Are you sitting at home feeling confused, stuck, or just not quite sure what life after GCSEs looks like? Don't worry. Today we're going to unpack everything and help you feel confident in taking the next step after your GCSEs and discovering all of the support available. Hey everyone, my name is Roxanne and welcome to this quick set, Life After GCSEs. Wow, I don't know about you, but I'm so excited and we have a lot to get through, so let's get started. So picture this, you've just received your GCSE results and perhaps you're feeling excited and ready to go, or maybe you're feeling a little bit confused because you didn't get the grades you expected. However you may be feeling, stop and breathe. Friends and family might have their own views on what you need to do after your GCSEs, but have you ever stopped and thought about the variety of choices available to you? To get started, ask yourself the following questions. Are you more of a practical learner and hands-on? Do you want to experience a specific industry? Are you someone who wants to combine study and work and earn while you learn? Or is your preference to carry on studying? Or maybe you'd just rather jump straight into work? We'll come back to this later if you're still stuck. But in the meantime, let's go to Anastasia who can shed some more light and help you with these questions.
So I'm Annie and I'm a careers advisor with the National Careers Service.
Amazing. Thank you. So I know you probably have a lot of useful insights for us and good gems of knowledge to take away. So I guess one of the first questions I want to ask you then would be, what is the best advice that you could possibly give to a young person who's just about to enter the job market?
I do think the best advice is thinking about what you're interested in and what you enjoy and finding a job that fits with those, because then you won't get bored and you will stay in that job for longer, or that career. Also, I would say be confident in yourself and enthusiastic. One of the things employers love most is enthusiasm. So that's just always really key to get across in your applications and in your interviews.
No, definitely. And I think doing what you love, like you said, is so important because you're going to be building a career, hopefully. So you want to make it enjoyable. You want to wake up in the morning and at least feel a little bit excited about what you're going to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we spend a lot of time at work, don't we? So you definitely enjoy it. And, passionate about something really reflects in the work that you do and, helps you grow within that career as well.
Definitely. Thank you. And just slightly, related, we've obviously spoken a lot about apprenticeships, T-levels and HTQs. Could you kind of highlight some of the main differences between those three different paths?
Of course. So we start with T-levels. So T-levels are a relatively new qualification and they are equivalent sort of roughly to 3 A-levels. They do cover lots and lots of different industries, sort of ranging from business and admin, construction, digital, engineering and manufacturing, health and science, education and childcare. They are hoping that they definitely will be adding some new subjects in September 23. And these cover things like hairdressing and barbering, beauty therapy, and agriculture. HTQs, so these are higher technical qualifications and these are approved by employers. So these are primarily, they are just classroom focused. So they can be studied in universities, colleges or at private training providers. And these are level 4 and level 5 qualifications. So they sit in between your A-levels and T-levels, then your degrees. And then if we look at apprenticeships, so these are real jobs. So you earn a wage while you're studying. So a lot of people like that. So you can start from a level 2 apprenticeship all the way up to a level 7. So that's sort of your master's qualifications. And depending on what level you do, they can last between 1 and 5 years. So all you need to have for a basis to get an apprenticeship is over the age of 16 and not in full-time education. And depending on what level you're doing, you may need to have some qualifications already.
Thank you so much for breaking it down, because as a young person, I guess it can be quite overwhelming. You're hearing all of these different new words and you're not sure what the eligibility criteria is, what they do, how they differ. So thank you so much for that. What are some of the things that you take into consideration when you're speaking to young people and you're kind of advising them?
No, that is a really good question. So do think about, what level of qualifications they may have already, because depending on what job they want to go into, that is going to be quite important. And figure out then from there their best career route to get to their career goals. Also, think about, do you want to stay close to home? Do you want to move away? Because again, that really heavily influences the decision they make, and also their sort of money situation. So do they need to be earning money while they're studying? Because that, again, heavily influences it. Also, talk to them about if they enjoyed school or college, and if being in a classroom is something that they're happy for, or if they want to primarily be in work, where apprenticeship would be the best route for them. So they're sort of the key things that I do look at when talking to a young person.
Definitely. Thank you for that. And just lastly then, obviously you're from the National Career Service. Could you just give us a little bit more insight into any other stuff that you guys do or you provide, just for anyone listening out there who wants to know a little bit more?
Of course. So we offer impartial information, advice and guidance related to careers you can talk to us from the age of 13 upwards. So we speak to everyone, lots of different topics and different things, and we can help you even if you're in work or out of work. We have a web chat as well, so if you don't want to call us up, you feel more confident talking online, definitely can do that. And a phone line as well, if you did want to give us a call, it's a free phone line. And they're both open Monday to Saturday, and there's a fully trained careers advisor there, always ready to help answer your questions and give you some advice. Also, if you just wanted a bit of general advice, our website has lots and lots of really useful resources on there. If you're struggling, don't know what career path is best for you, we've got short quizzes, the skills assessment on there that can help figure out the best career path. Now there's interview tips and advice on there and help with finding courses, just lots of different things on there. It's a really good, useful resource.
No, it sounds like it. It sounds like one of those websites you'll log on and you'll just get lost because there's just so much you can take advantage of. So thank you so much for sharing that, Annie. I really appreciate it.
Now, let's explore these paths in a little more detail. Let's start with T-levels. T-levels are a great next step after GCSEs. And before I go any further, I know you're wondering, what on earth is a T-level? Well, a T-level is a nationally recognised qualification for 16 to 19-year-olds that take 2 years to complete. Leading businesses and employers help design T-levels to give you the knowledge and skills you need. You'll spend 80% of your time in the classroom and 20% on a minimum 9-week placement with an employer. This means you'll learn what a real career is like while you continue your studies. And usually the entry requirements are at least 5 GCSEs grades 9 to 4, and the length of time to complete is usually around 2 years. A few things that really stand out to me is that this might be a great path if you're someone who wants to do more of a vocational qualification versus academic. It's great to explore what it would be like to work in this industry. Right, so that's T-levels. Here is another option available to you after your GCSEs. Higher technical qualifications, also known as HTQs, are technical qualifications that are approved by employers. There are many different types, and they are taught in the classroom at colleges, universities, or independent training providers. This is normally the next conventional step taken after GCSEs and chosen by many across the UK. There are many different types of HTQs, such as higher national diplomas, higher national certificates, foundation degrees, higher education diplomas, digital HTQs leading to careers such as network engineers, software developers, and data analysts. And employers must approve a course before it is called a higher technical qualification. This means that not all diplomas, certificates, and foundational degrees are HTQs. Approved courses will always show the HTQ logo or banner. To start a HTQ, you'll need to be aged 18 or over and live in England. You can apply for a HTQ while you're still at school. Each educational provider sets their own entry requirements for HTQs. The grades or qualifications you'll need will be dependent on the type of course you're applying for. Tuition fees vary depending on the course. They're likely to cost from around £7,000 to £9,250 a year for a 1 or 2 year course. You may be eligible for funding from student finance or a scholarship, grant, or bursary. This will depend on your circumstances and the type of HTQ you're studying. Finally, from me on HTQs, after completing them, you can get a job in your chosen career, or go on to further studies such as getting a degree, or you could even volunteer to help build your skills and experience. Apprenticeships. Apprenticeships. Yes, I said apprenticeships. Believe it or not, apprenticeships are also available to you after completing your GCSEs. An apprenticeship is a real job that allows you to earn a wage while you learn. It can take between 1 to 5 years to complete, depending on the level. There are a selected number of apprenticeships available at ages 16 to 18, and you can find these on the government website. With an apprenticeship, you'll spend 80% of your time on the job and around 20% of the job learning. As we did before, take a look at your screen and take a glance over some more information associated with apprenticeships. They help you get ready to go straight into work, you can earn a salary, and they're available in a range of industries such as accounting, media, construction, and more. Don't forget to check out my quick set all on apprenticeship myth busting if you want to know a lot more about apprenticeships. Let's take a look at a couple of career scenarios on screen now. Think about if this person chose a T-level, HTQ, or did an apprenticeship. If you get them all right, make sure you treat yourself at the end of this video. Let's go. After my GCSEs, I decided to pick blank as a career path. I'm now a healthcare and science professional. Can you guess which path I took? So, the answer is all three. That's right, you can indeed work in the healthcare and science industry after choosing to do any of the three paths we'd explored above. For example, you may have chosen to do a T-level for a healthcare organisation, studied biology as a HTQ, or done a healthcare apprenticeship at a private hospital or for the NHS. They all lead to the same career path. After my GCSEs, I decided to take blank as a career path. I'm now an accountant. Can you guess which career path I took? If you haven't guessed it by now, the answer is all three. All three paths can give you access to careers such as accounting. After my GCSEs, I decided to take blank as a career path. I'm now a TV journalist. Can you guess which path I took? Again, the answer is all three. You can access journalism through either of these paths. This exercise is interesting because it wasn't designed to be difficult or hard. It's here to show you that most career paths are accessible no matter what path you take after your GCSEs. There are just different ways in getting there, but all of the paths explored lead to the same endpoint. Perhaps start to think about how you want to get there. Right, so sometimes it's great to hear advice from friends and family about what we should do next after completing our GCSEs. However, I'd love to ask one of our amazing artists, Hedy1, about what he did after his GCSEs. Hey Hedy, thank you so much for joining me. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. So we're going to throw it back a little bit and we're going to be talking about life after GCSEs.
Yeah.
So I know that was probably a little bit of a while ago. Yeah. When you received your results, were you disappointed? Were you shocked? Or were you okay with it?
In the beginning, I was thinking, ooh, I think it was a bit peak.
Not looking good.
You're not really looking good, but obviously, as time went on, I felt like it was alright. It was decent. There was a few stuff where I felt like I wouldn't do as good, and I done better than I thought I would. And there was a few stuff which I just thought I messed up with that one.
Of course, and naturally, sometimes we do better than we expected, or we do a little worse than we expected. But one of the questions I wanted to ask you, after secondary school or high school, did you go on to college or sixth form, or what did you do next?
Because I wasn't really focused on education like that, so I didn't really know what I really wanted to do in the future at that point. You know what I was gonna say. So
that's fine, because obviously in an interview with NME, we heard that, around 15, 16, that's when you became really, really creative and you were introduced to a lot of different American artists. And for anyone that's a bit anxious right now, a young person out there, they've got the talent, is there any advice you'd give them for life after GCSEs if they don't want to take a conventional route?
I'd say they should always attempt to take the conventional route, because it's good to keep yourself educated. At the same time, we're in a new era where you can learn a lot of positive stuff in whatever field you want to be educated in. I feel like we have enough access to things now to be able to become intelligent in many different fields. So I feel like that's definitely something I would advise people to look into.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you so much for those insights. So far, you've gained a deeper understanding into T-levels, HTQs, and apprenticeships. You've heard from our amazing guest speaker, Anastasia, and our amazing artist, Hedy One. So now let's start thinking about what's right for you. Remember, you are the most important person in this decision-making process. To make your life a lot easier, as that's what we love to do here at Apprentice Nation, the handy decision tree on screen now. By no means is this meant to lead you to a definitive answer, but this will be a great guide to help you start thinking about what's next. Take a look on your screens. You may want to pause this video. Remember to start right at the very top and follow the arrows which will lead you to a potential path which could be good for you. Great. Now you've landed on a decision. Remember, this might not be a definitive decision, but what you've landed on may be a clear indication to help you decide what's next for you. There are tons of support available to you if you're a young person out there who's still a little confused or wants to seek further advice. You could speak to your careers advisor at your old or current school, a family member or friend. Why not also check out the Get the Jump content hub on the National Career Service website, where you can compare all of your choices at 16 and 18, as well as explore careers and get ideas about the type of jobs you might be suited to. You can even chat directly to a National Career Service careers advisor. Remember, we also have lots of mentors available here at Apprentice Nation to help guide you on the next stage of your career. Don't forget to check out these quick sets on your screen now. I hope after this video you feel excited about life after your GCSEs, and remember, you are in control of your own destiny.